Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here today. My name is Victor Kaiser, and today we're going to be talking about photography and about one particular photographer in person, Raj Gadhvi here, seated alongside me. Raj, welcome.
Thanks a lot to invite me. I'm happy.
Well, Raj, let's start by giving our viewers here, a little bit into the background of, who is Raj Gadhvi.
First of all, I would like to say Raj Gadhvi is a human. Well, Raj Gadhvi himself, I'm a photographer. I'm an applied artist. As long as I did fine arts in applied art in V.V.Nagar College of Fine Arts, which is in Gujarat, India. And right now I'm doing specialization in photography in Fanshawe College, London, Ontario, Canada. So you can call me photographer.
So as an artist, why is it that, you were drawn towards this particular segment of photography, this particular segment of art, that is called photography?
Fortunately, photography is my family business. My grandfather started a studio called Studio Natraj in 1964. Then my father continued that studio in 1992. Well, eventually he is a mechanical engineer, but he jumped in photography in 1992. Then I continued photography. I joined him as an assistant in 2003 or around 4 when I was doing my fine arts in applied art. I did my fine arts in V.V.Nagar as long as I mentioned it before. So photography thing's always been it's familiar for me since I understood what is life about.
And as you told us, you've done your fine arts background, you worked in a photo studio that was your family business, and then you moved to London, Ontario, and to Fanshawe College. So why would you take such a big leap and such a big risk, and leave everything comfortable behind and move out here into a place where it's completely different?
It is well said. You probably know about it. Necessity is the mother of invention. So somewhere around in my heart, I felt like something is missing in me. I was doing practical photography really well. I was doing wedding stuffs and portrait shoot and all. As long as we have many colleges over there back home in India, at my place. So we used to get customers to get some fashion photography and portrait stuff. So I was a little bit practically familiar with portrait photography as well. Somewhere I had one task to teach about basic photography to some of the students, and let me give examples of there are some colleges like Samcom College, APID, ADIT, and there are some colleges over there affiliated to SP University over there. So I had some tasks to teach them lecture them about photography things. But at once I realized that something is missing in my side. I have big knowledge about practical photography, but less knowledge about theories. And as long as I came to know about some subjects like physics, science, and chemistry it's working behind photography too. And I didn't know that before. So these things has been missing in my knowledge that I got to know, what, I have to decide. I have to go to Canada. I have to go to Fanshawe photography program.
So tell us, about your experiences here, as an international student. As I'm sure you're aware, the difference in culture, difference in lifestyle, and just there's so many differences that exist, between life in Western India and life here in Southwestern Ontario. Tell us about that.
My mentors, my teachers, my Canadian friends, and even some of the international students that we gathered a lot. We used to gathering a lot. We used to discuss a lot, and gradually I became comfortable, with this culture too. And it's good to know about this culture that I can implement such some good things in my culture when I go back home. So personally, I would like to say I'm the luckiest person. It is really fortunate that I have been in Canada, and I don't know about my destiny, but if I'll go back, then definitely it's gonna be somewhere in my, like it's kind of like a pearl in my shell. So it's gonna be in my briefcase that I can use it whenever I need it.
Once again, Victor Kaisi here, talking to Raj Gadhvi here, talking about the subject of photography. Raj, let's go a little further and talk about some of your work. As one of these pictures that, in fact, caught my attention a couple of times as I walked, around the hallways of Fanshawe College. You called it the Western Impact. What's the story behind that?
Western Impact is really interesting picture. People I found people love it, like even the Canadian friends and some of my international friends too. Western Impact is all about, I visited India in 2012 December last time, and I was capturing a guy who is a singer and a dancer, who is an entertainer, who has been hired by a government to entertain tourists back home in Rajasthan. I guess the hill station name is Mount Abu. So he was asking for a tip when he was dancing and singing for tourists to entertain them, right? So he was asking for a tip. One foreigner denied that, I'm sorry, I apologize, I don't have any change and coins and all. So, well, you danced really well, I would like to offer you a chewing gum. So that guy chuckled and he said, you know what, well, thanks, first of all, thanks for it that you offered me a chewing gum. I'm gonna have it, and let me, make a bubblegum balloon, and let me compete each other. If I would be successful to make a balloon bigger than you, then you have to give me such a reward, like, such a bill. Doesn't matter you have a change or coins or whatever, you have to give me a bill, $20, $10 or whatever. So yeah, they competed each other, and finally he won and he got his reward. So the thing is, the moral of the story is, the main message of the story is, according to me, chewing gum, it's discovered in a Western civilization. It never been found in Eastern civilization before. So he used that skill wisely to earn money, to make a business.
Yes.
So that's why I would call it Western Impact.
And let's talk about another one picture of yours. This one too, in the hallways of Fanshawe College. Caught my attention a couple of times, but I still haven't really been able to fathom out, what exactly it means. It's called 1,000 words, so, what's
That's why I call it 1,000 words, because you couldn't know what is it, right?
Tell me more about it.
Yeah, I was somewhere at the Gulf of Combat in Gujarat in 2012 when I went back in Christmas break, and I was capturing. I was seeking for a concept to capture. I had my camera and I was just walking on the footpath over there, right? I just got to see one girl was actually bawling, screaming, and she was talking to her mother. And her mother, she was shouting on her, and it was literally annoying actually, I wanted to stop her. I sneaked it a little bit and I wanted to let her stop, that don't shout on this little child, she is kid. Why you are being rude to her, so I successfully I get closer to them, and I wanted to stop her, and I was just talking. I supposed to talk, and I just got to see that little child, changed her mood. She changed her expression. She was crying before, suddenly she changed it, and now she seems like a mature lady. That she wiped up her tears and she told me, you know what, nothing to worry about. Just don't worry. I was just talking to my mother and all, right? So that thing caught my eyes, caught my attention, and I really liked that, and I felt like I shouldn't, miss this opportunity to take a picture. So I just got her picture sitting on a boat, and you can see there are many questions on her face, like many excuses, many yeses, nos, and argues and all over there because she didn't know why she is sitting on a boat, right? I got permission from her mother to take a picture, so I was just taking that picture. You can see that face seems like a mature lady, but the reality is she is not a mature lady, she is a child, right? So this kind of like confusion, well, it's not a confusion, it's an illusion, right? And that's why no one can get like the expression what she has on her face, and that's why I would like to say 1,000 words. That's a perfect title for that picture. It depends on viewers what they want to see on her face.
And Raj, one more picture of yours that I was hoping you can talk about a little bit about it. It's you've called it Happy Canadian Courtesy, and it's one that I've looked at again and again and again, and that's when I think I get the message that you're trying to tell the viewers. So I thought it best. Why don't you share what's the story behind this picture of yours?
Well, I was somewhere in Toronto, in downtown, somewhere around Union Station. I was just seeking for a concept to capture with my camera. It was a weekend, and I got to see this guy was seated on an intersection with the board. The thing written on the board is, I will work for food and money, thanks Toronto, something like that. So he would be a beggar or he would be an unemployed guy, right? But the thing is, he's not giving up. He is ready to work, he is ready to hard work and doing hard work, and he's ready to earn by like sweating, right? It's not just a begging, right? But he denied it, he ignored it, and on the other hand, he was doing, he was trying to request people that get me work and I will work for you and I'll earn money, right? But that thing caught my eyes, that thing caught my attention to capture him. And with that, beside of it, you can see there is a van passing through just behind of the background, like behind of the character. And itself, there is a caption, painted on that van is Happy Canada Day. So fortunately, I captured that picture on Canada Day, right? So it means, according to me, that's my personal perspective to describe that picture is Canadian attitude, that we are not giving up. We always trying to show our courtesy, which is thank you, sorry, and showing manners. Plus, that guy isn't giving up, and he is trying to request people that get me work, that I will work for you and I'll earn. So it's a positive message to unemployed and poor civilized people around the world. So definitely, therefore I named that picture, Happy Canadian Courtesy.
Moving on, from your pictures, Raj, you've had some great experiences working in India. You've had a phenomenal first year at Fanshawe College in London. You've walked away with a number of awards, and I've got a list of awards here. The John Kippen Award, first and second year students, that's been taken by you. The individual highest score, the overall highest score, the first year award, and when it's your lucky day, you walk away with the door prize as well. So you literally cleaned out the Fanshawe Printcom Awards. So how does that feel?
Oh well, definitely I feel great. Even that day made for me, I feel like that, right? Well, I worked hard, right? Even my mentors, my friends knows that I worked hard for that day, and I didn't anticipate it, but the thing happened. So that's really cool, feeling really great, and even Canada has been really lucky for lucky for me, and I'm working in Fanshawe photography department too this year. So I would like to say everything's going well.
And let's move on to another complete side of the story here. And let's say I was a critic, or someone else is a critic. As every person in the arts field, myself included, we have our critics that don't really like what they're doing because they have their set of thinking. So when someone walks up to you and says, Raj, I don't like this work, even though you know the story behind it, you know how much work you put into it, how would you react to something like that?
See, it depends. According to me, there are two types of photographers in this world. The one is technical, accurate photographer. Second is technical, accurate plus a poet. Believing in poetry, a photographer, right? So I'm the second guy. I love to see emotions as well as some technical, accuracy in photography, right? So, well, it's individual commands. I can't stop anybody to tell me, tell about myself and my photography. They can tell me, and I think even without criticism, I don't think so. I would be improve my style of photography. So I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal for me to be criticized by anyone. It's actually a weapon that I have that I can use to be improvised.
Excellent attitude there, Raj. As myself and you including, growing up in India, you see how society is being structured, that you do whatever your father tends to do. In your case, fortunately it was photography. In my case, it's completely different. My dad's with an engineering background, and I said, no, I don't want to do this, and I want to go into media and into journalism. And there are so many other people like us who want to do something, but they are forced to do this particular family business, be a doctor, be an engineer, whatever the case may be. So if there's someone on the fence, I want to take up photography, but then I may not get the support I want. What do you tell these people?
First of all, I would like to say I've never been forced by my family to do that, particularly anything, The second thing, if I do something out of my line or after something like which I am not interested, then my father would say, put off it, don't do it, So fortunately I'm lucky that my family supporting me really well, and I would like to give a message to freshers. Don't feel hesitation to ask anything about how to improve your photography skill to anyone. Even I learned from 10-year-old child when he's doing photography through point shoot cameras, right? So it's all about just learning, just keep learning, that's it. That's a weapon that you have that you can use it, if you really want to be a even satisfied photographer for yourself. So this is the message. And second thing I would like to say is you are more than welcome to to come here in Fanshawe. I really invite them by myself. Fanshawe photography is not just a program. It's all about a heaven for photographers who really wants to learn photography from the bottom of the of the theories to the practical top. So please enjoy it. Come here.
Wonderful attitude you have there, Raj. Indeed, once again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for watching as well there, wherever in the world you're watching this video. My name is Victor Kaiser, once again talking photography here with Raj Gadhvi here, currently just finished first year of education at Fanshawe College. Keep up the good work, Raj, and
definitely
we hope to see more great stuff from you in the future.
With my friends' help. See ya.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.